Hallo, hey, ich bin's, der Sensemann, und ich heiße euch ganz recht herzlich willkommen zurück zu The Stanley Parable mit Facecam. Hi! So, Narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Aber
Perhaps
hallo.
he had simply missed a memo.
Aber hallo. Ja, Leute, dies ist der letzte Part von The Stanley Parable.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Ich weiß.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Das wird euch vielleicht ein bisschen bekannt vorkommen.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Ja,
but
was wir
eager to
jetzt
get
machen
back to
werden.
business,
Boah,
Stanley
Junge,
took the
babbel mir doch nicht
first open
immer
door on his
dazwischen.
left.
So, und zwar, wir gehen jetzt den gleichen Weg, den wir vorher in einem
Stanley
vorherigen...
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ich bin keine 5 Jahre alt.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Und jetzt.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you. To show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Ich geb dir eine
Now
Chance.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ja, das mache ich. Ich gehe durch die rote
Oh,
Tür.
thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, eine Tür. Hallo?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Ja, ist schön hier. Ich gehe aber weiter. Ich fühle mich hier nicht happy.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Geh weiter.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Ja, Kollege, weißt du, mein Lieber,
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
wir hatten eine schöne Zeit miteinander. Woo!
No! Oh, thank God. No.
Nee, wir gehen jetzt
What are
nicht
you
wieder in den
doing,
Raum.
Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Weil ich gerne einfach mit dieser Stimme in meinem Kopf nicht mehr leben kann.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do... My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game?
Oh
That
ja.
you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Oh
You're
ja.
literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Obwohl mir das
Am I
natürlich hart
reading
zu
the
denken ist.
situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Dankeschön. Auf Wiedersehen.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Back heißt es. Das heißt, I'm going back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, dann werden wir jetzt einfach mal diesen Part dafür nutzen, nochmal ein bisschen was auszuprobieren.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way
Ich
to
weiß,
the
dass das
meeting
nicht der
room, and
korrekte Weg
Stanley
war.
knew it perfectly well.
Ich weiß auch, dass
Perhaps he
das...
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ja, nein.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Die Tür? Nee.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Die Frage ist ja... Hier, hüpfen kann ich nicht. Ich kann mich höchstens klein machen. Ob ich hier runterkomme? Ich meine, ich hätte es schon mal geschafft. Aber ich weiß nicht wie. Ich versuch's einfach mal.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Juhu.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Ja, gut. Aber ich muss doch da irgendwie runterkommen. Ich muss ja da irgendwie runterkommen. Ich möchte gerne was probieren. Ich möchte mal gerne hier hoch. Oder hier hoch. Irgendwo hier möchte ich mal gerne... Hoch! Hallo! Spiel! Danke! Was war das? Was war das? Oh Gott! War ich gerade innen drin? Ich wollte eigentlich nur gucken, ob das funktioniert. Nein! Nochmal! Ich habe irgendwas gefunden. Nochmal! Komm. Stanley, tu mir das nicht an. Bitte. Stanley! Komm! Hoch! Hoch! Dieses Spiel will mich doch... Ich bin gerade eben da hochgekommen. Jetzt bin ich jetzt schon mal hier oben drauf. Sehr gut. So, und jetzt...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
What? Are you sick of this gang gears? Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Was? Das... Komme ich überhaupt weiter? Nee, da komme ich nicht weiter. Da komme ich nicht weiter. Okay. Ich glaube beinahe. Ich glaube beinahe.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to
Was?
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ja, das kenne ich doch schon.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Nein.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Ich hatte
well.
zwei Möglichkeiten
Perhaps he
gerade.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Ich
just
hatte
to admire
gerade zwei
it.
Möglichkeiten und die werde ich jetzt
The
natürlich auch
lounge was
beide
sublime,
mal
a work of
nutzen
art.
wollen.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nein. Nein, ich will jetzt wissen, was passiert,
Stanley
wenn
was
ich
so
No
bad
drücke.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
YOLO!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Yay.
Good job, Stanley.
Danke.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Ja. Ja, nicht wirklich. Aber okay, ich mache das jetzt,
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Okay. Aber okay, es ist... Okay. Ich glaube, das Spiel weiß schon, was ich machen möchte.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ja, komm.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map
Das
until
kennen
he
wir ja
heard this
schon.
narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Nope.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would
No.
I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Muss es doch irgendwo einen Ausgang geben, das kann nicht sein. Alter. Ja gut, Leute. Okay, ja. Das war The Stanley Parable. Ein Spiel, das mich so hart genommen hat an meiner Seele, dass ich nicht weiß, ob ich jemals derselbe sein werde. Als nächstes Nebenprojekt werde ich ein Spiel spielen, das euch vielleicht sogar ein bisschen bekannt sein sollte, und zwar Fallout Shelter. Ich habe leider in den Tagen vor dieser Aufnahme in einem Spiel verloren und habe mich bereit erklärt, Fallout Shelter zu Let's Playen. Es wird lustig. Aber erstmal bedanke ich mich fürs Zuschauen und sage wie immer, hau da rein. Tschüss.